And now, our feature presentation.
Hey everyone, we're now back with more videos of my video game collection as of 2015. We're now going to be moving on to my Super Nintendo games, or SNES. And I did a head count before I went on just to count them, see how many I have. I had 33. 33 Super Nintendo games, because even though back in the day in the 90s I never did have a Super Nintendo system. Never did. Not until 2001, actually, to be exact, when I went to a little store, bought myself a system. I tried it out. I thought it was pretty good. Yep. And, okay, so these are all the ones that I have, and I'm still joined by Connor, and we did have Marty with us, or Matt123, or Marty Bengal, but he said he'd be on in a minute. Yep.
Hello.
Hello. Alright. Let's start with all the ones that I have in ABC order once again. Here we go. The first one is based off a TV show that I mentioned, that I remember, back in the day, and this is called The American Gladiators. This is like a competition where people compete against these gladiators. It was 6 of them back in the day in the beginning, then it expanded to like 8 or something like that. Like, the gladiators are named like Nitro, Lace, who is one of my favorites, Zap, Gemini, Turbo, Sky, Tower, Siren. So many names for them, but all the competitions they do, like, you climb up this wall, like, you know, like, climb up a wall and make sure the gladiator doesn't pull you off, and if you get to the top, you get the win. And the Eliminator, of course, I do all these things, and, like, going up, like a kind of like a down escalator, but going up that, then on these, yeah, all them competitions and stuff, they are on YouTube, I think. Just look up a couple of episodes of them, you'll see what I mean. But the game is not bad. It's pretty good to play. This one I have not played on my channel. I don't know why I still have it. This is Art of Fighting. It's obviously a fighting game, and I got it at a flea market. A guy was trying to get rid of it and said, nobody's buying this, or whatever, and just said if I wanted to have it for free, and I'm like, okay. So, even though I haven't really played it, but I'll probably just give it a shot. I mean, I may not like it, but we'll see. Here we have the MTV duo back in the day, Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. Hilarious guys back in the day, and the game is pretty good, but I kind of prefer the Sega Genesis version more, but I don't have the Sega Genesis version. And all you just do is like go through the neighborhood and like look for money or things and hit people with like this stuff, like any kind of weapons and stuff, and just like try and beat the game basically. But Beavis and Butthead are really hilarious, as they're one of my favorites to watch.
That's good.
Yep. Here we have Brunswick World Tournament of Champions Bowling, because I do like to bowl, as I mentioned. Got a label in here of a place called Video World in Mount Airy, North Carolina. Probably not in business anymore, because this is probably from the 90s at least. The game is not bad, but this is kind of difficult, because you gotta line yourself up where you want to throw the ball and stuff, and like don't throw it in the gutter. But it's a little bit difficult. But there you go. Here we have Super Caesar's Palace. This is a game where you go like to a casino and play games like blackjack or poker, video poker, or slot machines, horse racing, anything like that. I did a game of it on the Sega Genesis, but not for this, because I don't have a Super Nintendo controller for my Retron 3 system. But I should look for like a Super Nintendo emulator and probably do that. Yeah. And here we have, based off the board game by Parker Brothers, yeah, and that is Clue. Clue is pretty fun. What you do is you're like a detective and you just do like this stuff like was it Miss Scarlet in the conservatory with like a wet weapon or anything like that. You know, so I have Colonel Mustard, Professor Plum, Mrs. White, Mrs. Peacock, and all them characters, and just like see like who did it. Yeah, just like solving clues basically. Here we have ESPN Baseball Tonight, baseball game that I like. It's pretty good, but I kind of prefer it on the Sega Genesis, but Super Nintendo version's not bad. Here we have The Family Feud. Very good to play on the Super Nintendo. Sega Genesis version's good as well, but in my opinion, I prefer the Super Nintendo version more, just because I don't know why. But they're both fun to play, but I guess I played the Super Nintendo version more. Maybe. Here we have a movie-based game that I also have for Nintendo, Home Alone. Way different than the Nintendo version, but yeah, like I said, it's not bad to play, but I should play a little bit more of it. And here's a sequel, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I saw my friend, our friend Aubrey, or the Breezy off Station 87, or Aubrey Scott Productions do a game of this. And I figured I'd get as well and give a little game, a little gameplay of it. And it's pretty much not bad. Here we have Jam It. It's a basketball game, like played on a street against people. And this is not bad of a game, just could be a little bit better though. But it's fun to play, and it's funny.
Yeah.
And here we have Jeopardy. This one's not bad, but I have to give like a little bit more into this, you know, and try and do the best I can. But yeah, it's pretty good. Another one that I'm pretty much a little bit better at, and that is Jeopardy! The Sports Edition, because you know I like sports, like baseball, basketball, and a couple others.
Oh yeah, you do.
I've been doing like the Sega Genesis version, but I'd like to get back to the Super Nintendo version if I can find a Super Nintendo emulator or a controller for my Retron 3 system. But I'll probably look for an emulator. Anyway, next one is John Madden Football. Haven't really played this game, so don't have an honest opinion of it. Sorry about that. Here we have the Justice League Task Force. Some things going on here on my phone. This is a pretty good game. Features Batman, my favorite superhero, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, and the Green Arrow. All people like facing off against each other to do the best they can and face the evil nemesis Darkseid. I have it for Sega Genesis as well, but they're both pretty good on both systems. Here we have Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball, or Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball, I'm sorry. This is pretty good. It only features him in the game though, but my favorite team is the Baltimore Orioles, and doesn't really feature any real players of the Orioles, just made up names somehow. And here's Ken Griffey Jr.'s Winning Run, another good game as well. Great baseball player in the 90s, Ken Griffey Jr. Definitely will be a Hall of Famer one day. Here we have Madden 94 football game, and no honest opinion about it because I have not played it yet. And here's ABC Monday Night Football. I might have played a game of this, but I don't know exactly. Have to check that out. Here's Mortal Kombat 3, fighting game, obviously, featuring like Sub-Zero, Scorpion. Not really the biggest fan of Mortal Kombat games, because I played them before, but they're pretty much, they are good, but I'm just not really the biggest fan of it. Here we have NBA Jam Tournament Edition, basketball game, which is fun to play. Don't have the regular NBA Jam, just have this one, because I played this a lot of times, and I think I also played this at the arcade before. Yep. Here is Power Rangers or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition. I don't have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or the movie game for the SNES because they're a little bit expensive to get. Like some people are saying like $20 for it without the case, that is, which is kind of ridiculous. But I guess they're either they're pretty popular or whatever. I'm not sure exactly. Okay, next one is a great Super Nintendo game. It is Super Mario World. Great game. It's probably maybe the number 2 best Super Mario Brothers game, just because I think I played this at the arcade as well, and got it at a flea market, so I figure I'd get it because it's Mario, you know. Here's Super Play Action Football. Not a whole lot to say about this because I have not played it. One of my favorite movies ever from Disney, Toy Story. Yep. Great game. Also for Sega Genesis as well. Should do like a little gameplay of it on my channel for Super NES. I think I did the Sega version. But yeah. Here is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. Purchases at a flea market. This is about $22 to get because it's a Ninja Turtle game and the Ninja Turtles are pretty popular in the 90s. It is pretty good to play. I should do a gameplay of it. And here we have Wheel of Fortune. This one just has 3 rounds in it. You just do round 1 and round 2 and then round 3. And that's basically it. Here we have Wheel of Fortune, the Deluxe Edition. This one is good as well. Do the first round, the next one, then round 3, and then round 4, then the speed up round as well. And the speed up round vowels are worth money along with consonants, which they usually are not. But in this game they are. And another one of Wheel of Fortune Deluxe Edition, which I just have on hand, just not featuring the puzzle and Vanna White on the cover. Here's WWF Super WrestleMania. One of my friends said that this game is pretty good, but I have not played a whole lot of it. WWF Royal Rumble. Good game as well. I think I played a game of this before. Don't know though. Here's WWF Raw. Really good one as well. Good to play. And finally, WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game. One of my favorite games, also for Sega Genesis and PlayStation. Never really played the arcade version, I think, but it is pretty good. And that's it for my Super Nintendo game collection. Hope you all enjoyed this, and we'll be back with more of my video game collection after this, so stay tuned.